Riverside International Raceway. A story we've covered every year we've come to Riverside is the demise of this track. This year, it's Dave Despain's turn to report on the death of a racetrack.
How many years has it been now since Riverside Raceway was pronounced dead? It's life after death that brings us here today. Results from delays in a giant development that surrounds the racetrack and will move inside the gates next Wednesday. Dan Greenwood is the track president.
It's going to be the beginning, the real beginning, when you see those big machines out there on the hill start moving dirt. So we know it's coming. 2 years ago, we thought last year was it, and there were enough delays that we could work around it. But we're going into our third and final last year at Riverside. It's just not quite sure yet when it's final.
This track will be overrun by the town of Moreno Valley. You've probably never heard of it, but experts say in 10 years it will be one of the 100 largest cities in America. Explosive Southern California growth that has already swallowed Ontario Motor Speedway is about to bury an important piece of racing history.
The one thing I've learned to love this place, this old, tired, wonderful racing facility. This racetrack, probably more than any other one in all the world, has had all the classic drivers of all the disciplines. I don't think you can name another racetrack in the world that has had the variety of drivers and driving styles and sanctioning bodies here.
Next June at this crowded old racetrack, the International Race of Champions, drivers from many disciplines will come for a final race at the track where IROC was born. And the day after, these same Winston Cup cars race here, allegedly for the last time. But Dan, let's talk odds. Would you give us a betting line that there might be next November yet another last race at Riverside?
Yeah, I can give you a great one. You can really, 50-50.
Dan Greenwood, who's done a lot with this track, following the footsteps of Les Richter, who for many years was the man who maintained the motor racing presence. Winston Cup racing on the West Coast, the Ontario racetrack coming and going as it did. Great sadness to see that go, and I'd be sorry to see this one go. I just hope there's a facility on the West Coast for great motorsports competition. And it's for certain that back here they had a Formula One, had a World Championship race this track at one time. Can-Am raced here, Trans-Am raced here, Indy cars raced here, Winston Cup raced here.
Harry Gant had pitted earlier and just came back in the pit, so he probably had an equalized tire or a tire going down, so he did have to come back.